Welcome to Business Intelligence and Cloud Computing. To guide you on this exciting journey, this audio-visual presentation is brought to you by Blue Team 6, Paige Kearns, Craig Kelly, and Chase Thorn. We're here to help in understanding a few topics that are sometimes a little complicated to understand, but without a good explanation, of course. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here's an overview of the topics we'll be covering throughout the presentation. We will be starting with data information, looking into what they are and how the two are related. Next, we'll be moving to business intelligence and looking into what it is and how it affects the current business climate. Following, we will be discussing the topic of business analytics and understanding how impactful and necessary it is in today's times. We will discuss cloud computing and making it simple, as no one understands the cloud. And lastly, we will discuss Salesforce, what they do, and how it combines many features discussed within the presentation to a practical application for businesses. Before we get started, we wanted to discuss what exactly data is and how it is used. The literal definition of data, in the sense that we are using it, is information in digital form that can be transmitted or processed. Data in this sense is just useless jargon, unless context is provided by the user to make the data into actual information to be used for decision making. For example, if you had a list of 10 numbers that ranged from 0 to 100 and no context, that would just be data. Giving the numbers the context of degrees, and you'll know that the 10 numbers are temperatures, turning the useless data into information that can be used. Data management systems, abbreviated DBMS, are programs used that create, maintain, and manipulate the data for things like search engines or any databases of any kind to work. The term business intelligence refers to the combination of the aspects of reporting, data exploration, and ad hoc queries using sophisticated data modeling and analysis. Business intelligence also refers to the combination of quantifiable information sourced from data mining, analytical reporting, or other market information, and matching it up with quantifiable internal business information. So in other words, you compare real-world information to your company's information to make some more informed business decisions. This is usually done by attaining massive amounts of data gathered from many different sources, often referred to as big data, which is often bought and sold through data warehouses or a data mart. This data can contain anything from market's user preferences for certain products to internet search patterns, even health habits. This information can be used as a competitive advantage if a business is able to apply it wisely, as it provides a business with key data that can be interpreted to make maybe more informed business decision about things such as an acquisition or using data to learn user preferences for marketing a good to consumers. The key to competing with this information is making sure it contains all the aspects of an intangible asset: rare, valuable, imperfectly imitable, and lacking of substitutes. Developing technologies often lose their competitive edge as they are adopted by other companies within an industry, which is expected in this day and age. While firms can expect this, they could still see a boost in performance if business intelligence is used correctly. Data for business intelligence can be collected from internal systems within the company or external sources from the outside. They can collect, prepare, and create reports for the data. It must be integrated, consolidated, and cleaned to ensure accuracy and consistency with other systems that the company uses. Once this data is collected, it can be interpreted into data visualization tools. Creating such figures can help people understand the data as it is in a graphic, which can be much easier to conceptualize and visualize. These formats include charts, infographics, dashboards, and performance scorecards, which makes data easier to comprehend. Developments in business intelligence technology have made it easier for more potential users. It no longer requires specialized training as it had in the past. That makes it a lot easier for users to make decisions, optimize processes that are used for a multitude of functions, and make operations more efficient. Business analytics refers to the extensive use of data, statistics, and quantitative analysis, explanatory and predictive models, and fact-based management to drive decisions and actions. This process emphasizes statistics and the formulation of models for data-driven decision-making. To use it properly, it requires consistent formatting and compatible systems to apply the data analysis to. There are 3 critical skills required for business data analytics: IT knowledge, statistics knowledge, and business functionality knowledge. Information technology understanding, in terms of understanding tech and programming, is needed to understand how to pull all the data together and to decide what tools to use for the analyzation of that data. A knowledge of statistics is needed to build models and interpret the validity of the results. And a background of business knowledge is needed to be able to provide insight into the results of the data and in the context of the industry to make it a practical use. Analytics can be used for different purposes within a business's operations. Historical data can be used to create algorithms based on trend data of the past and can be used to predict the future performance of a product. Descriptive analytics are used to provide insight by tracking key performance indicators that help understand the state of the business. Prescriptive analytics use past performance to generate recommendations for similar situations that may occur in the future. The analysis method should be selected based on the goals the business wants to achieve. Cloud computing. Everyone's talking about the cloud. But what does that actually mean? More and more, we are seeing technology moving to the cloud. It's not just a fad. The shift from traditional software models to the internet has steadily gained momentum over the last 10 years. Looking ahead, the next decade of cloud computing promises new ways to collaborate anywhere and everywhere, through any device that contains the internet and a browser. So what exactly is cloud computing? Essentially, cloud computing is a kind of outsourcing of space and computer applications. Using cloud computing, users are able to access software and applications from wherever they are. The computer programs are being hosted by an outside party and reside in the servers hosted by that outside party. This means that users do not have to worry about things such as storage and power. They can simply enjoy the end result. All of the data that is being stored in the cloud is often stored in places called data centers or server farms that the larger third parties own to utilize economies of scale and ensure increased security measures. What cloud computing consists of is a client of some sort, which can be anything from a normal web browser or a third-party downloadable client, and 3 different use cases: software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Software as a service is the cloud service that users use when they purchase a license to use a program but don't actually download that program. The application is available all through their web client, and the consumer does not manage or control any of the supporting or underlying systems, such as servers, network, operating systems, etc. Such examples of these would be Google Apps, Dropbox, Salesforce, Cisco, Deltek, etc. Platform as a service provides cloud components to certain software while being used mainly for applications. PaaS provides the framework for developers to work on and build customized applications. So PaaS and SaaS work similarly, except instead of providing the content, it allows developers to build on the already provided framework. Examples of platforms as a service are Microsoft Azure, Google App Engine, Apache Stratos, Elastic Beanstalk, etc. The easier way to think about it is a cloud service that allows developers to create things like apps for cell phones. The third model for computing services is infrastructure as a service, which is the storage and networking side of the cloud services. This is the service that a lot of companies want to use when they want to limit their storage space and have a nice interface to interact with on their own system. Instead of trying to spend a boatload of money on computer equipment, essentially borrowing space from other companies' servers is what the IaaS model does. A couple examples of IaaS would be Rackspace, Amazon Web Services, Cisco Metapod, Microsoft Azure, or things like Google Compute Engine. Who is Salesforce? Salesforce is a company founded in 1999 by 4 former Oracle executives, focusing on software as a service. Salesforce has today become number 285 in the Fortune 500 list since entering in just 2015, and is ranked number 1 in Fortune's 100 best companies to work for in 2018. How did they do it? By creating a super easy to use, customizable customer relationship management, CRM for short. Salesforce is one of the first companies to offer a CRM service that existed fully within the cloud. This was a real game changer, especially in 2005 when they started. Since 2005, Salesforce revenue has grown from $176 million to $10.5 billion. Talk about a dramatic increase. Ever since Salesforce started allowing companies to export their customer database to a cloud service and giving analytical tools, more and more firms are seeing the dramatic benefits of having a large bank of information in the cloud, or infrastructure as a service. Salesforce in the last 4 years has developed a customer success platform that ties in several faces of a company, from sales to service and even analytics. For smaller businesses, to outsource for this kinds of services is a real game changer. In conclusion, we've hopefully made it a little easier to understand what business intelligence is and what business analytics is, as they are both sometimes pretty hard concepts to grasp. We discussed that if business intelligence and business analytics are used correctly, they can assist firms in making data-informed decisions where in the past they may not have been the case. We looked into different types of cloud computing systems and what they are and how they've reshaped the landscape for computing. We also briefly discussed about Salesforce and how they were able to be very profitable by utilizing and creating efficient cloud services, analytics, and business intelligence to provide their customers with a large benefit to moving to the cloud rather than keeping it in-house. Well, that just about concludes our presentation on business intelligence and cloud computing. It's been real, friends. We hope that you have enjoyed this presentation and have a happy holidays.